Hello friends, welcome back again. In last video, we discussed about the different channels, transmission channels used in the computer networking. In that class, we covered the topic of the guided. Guided means which are having a fixed direction through the cabling. So, uh, coaxial cabling, twisting pair cabling, and then finally the optical fiber was introduced in that class, and we also promised you that in the next class we will again have a next class on the unguided medium, especially because that class was going on very lengthy, so we decided to just stop the topic there, and the rest of the topic, that means the unguided medium, will be covered in the next class. So today we are just going to cover that this very important technically very important topic, interesting and important, the unguided transmission medium used in the networking as well as in internet also. So, as the name is suggesting, the unguided means where no cabling is used, no direction is fixed, everywhere the signal can be propagate. And when we are saying the signal can be propagate, that means the signal can be transmitted through the air. So, there are three types of communication, the unguided type of communication. First is the ground wave transmission or communication, whatever the term is liking you, and then the ino ionospheric wave transmission, then LOS, the line of sight. LOS is called the line of sight. One by one, we are just introducing the terminologies. In the ground wave communication, we have ground wave communication. This particular type of communication is possible with the very small type of frequencies up to the range of 2 megahertz. This type of frequency is deal with the ground wave frequencies. Basically, when the radios were used in the amplitude modulation and the uh, now the frequency modulation FM is there, which is having the very high type of frequency. But at that time, they especially before 30 to 40 year back, the radio signals was just radio means that you have the device. Actually, radio means is a very huge terminology, but we commonly say that radio जिसको हम सुनते हैं है ना, listening करते हैं. Otherwise, it's the common name is heterogeneous type of transducer. It's a technical name, but simply we say radio. Basically, the radio waves deals with the this type of technology, and the AM, the amplitude modulation, was used in this type of criteria. This ground wave means this the signals can be uh, propagated or the transmitted not far above the earthing atmosphere, just to 1 to 2 kilometer above. This signal can be propagated. That's why this is called the ground wave communication. After that, the ionospheric communication were used. I already told you that the radio wave was used in the ground wave. Similarly, when the international broadcasting was introduced, so that waves, the 2 megahertz type of waves, were not sufficient enough, then we introduced another term, the ionospheric wave. Ionospheric wave is this wave can be transmitted above the earth surface up to the 13 kilometer above, and where the ionosphere is start. So this type of wave can be transmitted the signals in the international broadcasting system when we have to cover the lot of distance, but the signals has to be propagate from the very long distance. That means that the international type of domain is used there. Then we use the ionospheric type of communication, and the range of this type of communication was between 2 to 30 megahertz. Sorry, megahertz. In this range of communication, in this range of the megahertz frequency was used for the international broadcasting of the signal, and that's why this is called ionospheric wave, because the signal were spread or the propagated in the ionospheric layer of the atmosphere. Now these were the technologies were far behind us. Now we are having in the uh, very technologically sound type of era. In this, these are not uh, important to just learn, but the knowledge should be there. We have to acknowledge this thing also. Now the thing is LOS. LOS means line of sight. Line of sight means the signal can be transmitted in the straight direction. जैसे हम अपनी आंखों से देखते हैं, आंखों से जो हमें सीधा दिखाई देता है वो दिखाई देता है। अगर बीच में कोई हर्डल आ गया, कोई माउंटेन आ गया, कोई दीवार आ गई, तो हम पीछे नहीं देख सकते। इसी तरह से ये सिग्नल के साथ भी यही डील थी कि दिस सिग्नल वाज कैन बी ट्रांसमिटेड इन अ स्ट्रेट वे। इफ ए ऑब्स्टिकल इज एनकाउंटर टू द सिग्नल, then the loss of signal was occurred there and no further propagation is possible due to LOS. LOS means line of sight signal. Line of sight signal basically used in the mobile telephony, cordless phone, and the satellite telephony also. Satellite phones are also having this type of technology. The signal LOS, line of sight signals, basically this type of communication is used with the 16 gigahertz type of high frequency, and this frequency is only can be propagated in a straight way. Now there is a situation when some ocean sea is there and we have to travel this particular uh, one important thing I will also discuss about this. I want to discuss over here that wherever the frequency is larger, wherever the frequency is larger, then the distances covering will be shorter. This is the phenomena. You have also observed that when you are using the FM signals for listening the radio, after the 60 or 65 kilometer, you have a deteriorated signal, and even may be possible that you won't have a signal over there because the FM signal is more having the more frequency, so the distance is very less. But in the amplitude modulation, when the signal frequency was less, then the distance was very far away that can be covered. So over here also we have to discuss that when we are using this type of this such a huge type of frequency, so there must be some repeaters at a regular interval of distances. Repeaters means they get the signal, the weak signal at a particular distance, then reboost the signal and then transmit it to again. But if a mountain is and is in the way of the signal, or the sea oceans are there which cannot be uh, allowed to get install of the repeaters there, Repeaters means antennas again. Active antennas and passive antennas. Active antennas are those antennas which originate the signal. Passive antennas are those which get the signals, only get the signal. But repeaters are the active antennas which not only receive the signal but after reboosting the signal again transmit it to the another distances. So in the hilly region or in the oceans, if somebody want to communicate through these signals, and it is not possible because there should not be possibility of the installation of the repeaters or the antennas. So, and in the case of the mountain, because I already told you that the waves are transmitting in the line of sight direction, and that after backside of the hill will not be getting the signal. So, we should have a particular mechanism there that either on the mountain height you again have to put certain antenna. From here the transmission is to be transmitted to this antenna, and this antenna can be coupled with this particular antenna, and this antenna which is again active and can transmit the signal here. So this may be the possibility, but the cost of installing such a type of things, because antenna installation is not only the issue, uh, because this antenna needs some electricity, some source of the people, some staff to be deputed over there. So is it so easy possibly is it so easily possible for a particular transmission? Of course not. Then some another things have to be thinking over by our engineers, our scientists. Then what should be the what should be the criteria that this situation can be overcome? For that, for that we used a microwave signaling. Microwave is again of very similar to the LOS. LOS basically has the microwave facility, and the see, it is the same thing, but because it is the latest one, so the thousands of the sound channels, means the telephony and all these things can be handled, or the some radio signals can be handled through this microwaves. And again, I have already told you that 16 gigahertz type of high frequencies deal with the microwave. So microwave and satellite both are uh, more or less same thing, but we have just giving it a another name, that microwave. Microwave communication is very common, but LOS, because LOS is again following the microwave is again following the LOS criteria, the line of sight criteria. That's why we just have to be divided in two parts. But the main idea is originated from the LOS. Again, I would like to emphasize over here that microwave and LOS both are almost the same things. Now, microwave satellite or LOS is basically having the one and the same thing. Because I have already discussed you that when the some geographical situations, some geographical obstacles are encountered to us, the line of sight propagation of the wave or the transmission of the wave is not possible. So some another type of idea is to be originated. That's why our signal can be easily transmitted to the long distances and with the very high type of frequency. So, satellite communication comes to the in the picture. Now, satellite communication, you have already heard that the ISRO has launched its satellite information satellite information. ISRO has launched this type of geographical satellite, GSLV type of uh, launch vehicle, geographical launch vehicles. So, have you ever think over that why do we have to launch so many satellites? The answer is just to refresh, just to strengthen our satellite communication, because all these mostly the satellites are used for the satellite are for the communication purposes. Now again there is a drawback, again there is a problem. Mm, just this satellite is, we are talking about the satellite. This satellite can be placed over the 36,000 of kilometer from the earth, above the earth, in the orbit of the earth. The 36,000 of kilometer is the orbit of the earth, and here the gravitational becomes zero. At this point this satellite is placed. Some transmitter from earth can send the signal to this satellite. The satellite is again just a repeaters, just like behave like just like a repeaters or the active antennas. It receives the signal and send back to the another portion of the earth. This signal is receiving and this signal is being transmitting over here. This signal may be also transmitting in this direction also. This is the direction to transmitting, this is the direction of the receiving. So again there is a problem that a single satellite cannot cover the whole circumference of the earth. Again there is a dark area. Dark area means where the signal cannot be reached. So what is the solution? Solution is that in this orbit we have to place at least three satellites, and then one is in this satellite can transmit here, and through this the whole circumference of the earth can be covered. So means no dark zone is left over there. Whole the earth is covered through this three satellite. Means one satellite is covering almost 120 degree of angle of the earth. 360 is the total one, and 120 angle uh, space is been covered by the single satellite. So when we have three satellite, then the globally communication is possible. Now this is the feature of the satellite, but the satellite phone is, because it is the advanced form of the microwave transmission. This type of technology is used for the internet. For the internet, we should have, you have already heard that the signals are coming from the internet signal are coming from the satellites. So this is the main mechanism behind it, we are getting the internet signal. So for internet usage, for internet covering area, we need satellite, and at least three satellites should be there. So this was the main concept, that this transmission now again, not in the internet, but some certain number of entertainment channel, which are the satellite channels also, are having the usage of these satellites. That's why the one particular type of channel, one particular type of the entertainment channel is being viewed in the different part of the country, different part of the world also. Some global type of channels. Those are the regional channels, but are the global channels. Global channels are also deal with the satellites. So one country should have the at least three number of satellite can cover the whole world. And India, of course, we should also feel proud that India is the leading country in the world. After two or three countries are there, which are having such type of facility, that from anywhere to anywhere, up to from anywhere, at any place, we can transmit our channel either through any particular type of uh, communication medium we have used. But if those are not possible, then satellite channeling is also available to us. So this was the concept, that the unguided type of propagation, unguided type of communication, unguided type of transmission of the signals can be achieved with uh, this type of communication, this type of technology. One was the grounded wave, which is covering the very, which basically it is a broadcasting type of technology. Broadcasting means where the one user, where the one station can broadcast to the signal to different. You, I think you have aware about the thing, unicast, broadcast, and the multicast. Unicast means one is just propagating the signal, and one another one was receiving the signal. Multicast means one is sending the signal, multiple persons are getting the signal. But broadcast means for anybody across the world, across the globe, across the region, we can transmit the signal, and anybody can receive the signal. Broadcast means that is the meaning of the broadcast. So all these things are basically used for the broadcasting, not for the unicasting and the multicasting. So this topic is also covered here, but the very important topic, if you have any comment, any doubt, then you can just make a comment in our comment session. We will try to reply for the important or the necessary question. Otherwise, this was our very important type of video, and very important terms were introduced in that. And now I think the satellite type of communication, which is the not only the important one, but very interesting one also. I think you have uh, studied and learned about this thing. So the different type of computer communication, like the guided one or the unguided one, we have covered in these two classes, and I think you will be benefited with these two channels, these two videos. And again, do subscribe our channel, share it, like it, and if you have any difficulty, then please comment us. We will try to, because we are just uploading the channel day by day or topic by topic. So one day will come that entire type of syllabus will be available to you, and you will benefit it from this channel. Thank you.